It's incredible to see how, at the most exciting moment of the celebration, Jimin and Jungkook reach out to each other so naturally that it leaves us speechless. At the exact right second, they intertwine their hands and don't let go for a single instant, demonstrating that their priority is feeling close to one another. Even when they're bumped during the festivities, they maintain their grip incredibly tightly. You can see how Jimin clings completely to Jungkook, seeking the security that only he provides, making that contact the most important element of the entire scene. We could clearly see that even though Jin was right there beside him, Jungkook completely ignores him for several seconds because his sole focus is on Jimin. It's an instinctive reaction that confirms that when Jimin is near, Jungkook can't resist seeking him out. He doesn't care who else is present or what's happening around him, he chooses to focus all his energy and attention on being by Jimin's side, demonstrating what he truly feels. This is one of the clearest signs of their relationship, because it shows us that their bond is much stronger than anything else. The fact that Jungkook ignores everything around him to focus on Jimin tells us that he is his favorite person and his absolute priority. Seeing how tightly they hold on, not letting go despite the pushing and shoving or the noise, we understand that their connection is something real and profound. Something we love to observe, and that always moves us, is the striking difference in size when Jimin and Jungkook hold hands. It's a detail that makes everything between them feel so much more special and protective. Jungkook has a unique way of completely enveloping Jimin's fingers in his hand, ensuring a firm and steady grip. While they celebrate together, he doesn't let go of Jimin for a moment, demonstrating that this physical contact is his way of saying he's always there to care for him and support him in every way. It's very clear to see how Jungkook always tries to cover Jimin's hand completely, squeezing it tightly to make the bond unbreakable. This gesture is one of the most beautiful examples of the connection they share every day, where they don't need to hide how much they enjoy being so close. For us, seeing Jungkook envelop Jimin's hand is witnessing a pure and direct act of love, where it's clear he wants Jimin to feel safe and protected under his constant care, no matter where they are. Ultimately, these moments where they're always together, holding hands, confirm that their relationship flows very naturally. Jungkook always holds Jimin's hand with that special strength, making it clear that they're inseparable and that their place is by each other's side. Thanks to the stories posted by J-Hope, we were able to notice details that confirm the very special bond between them. In the images, we clearly see hands we know very well, adorned with those silver and gold bracelets that are so characteristic of them. This moment was captured on the very day we learned that Jimin and Jungkook left in the same car with the other members, but with the important detail that they returned alone before the rest. What stands out most about this encounter is the way Jungkook looks at Jimin during the video. It's evident that Jungkook literally melts when he has Jimin in front of him, with an expression that leaves no doubt about what he feels. It's clear that Jungkook can no longer hide his true feelings, and his gaze says it all every time he's next to Jimin. No matter who's filming or who's present, the way Jungkook focuses on him shows that Jimin is the person who makes him happiest and that their connection is something he can't hide. This video is a very clear sign of the relationship they share off camera. The fact that they returned alone and that Jungkook looked at him with such tenderness shows us that their bond as a couple is constant and very real. Whenever they are together, Jungkook reveals that sensitive and devoted side that he only has with Jimin. Another significant event occurred when Jungkook liked and reposted a reel of a trip to Switzerland that seemed straight out of their shared adventures. The video shows two boys traveling, laughing, and having a great time, something Jungkook immediately identified with. It's very likely that seeing those images reminded him of the wonderful moments he spent with Jimin when they were enjoying their private trips. It's truly beautiful to see how Jungkook keeps those memories of their shared experiences alive. This gesture from Jungkook shows us that he still vividly remembers every second he spent with Jimin on their getaways. Sharing this kind of content suggests that he deeply misses those trips and those moments of freedom where only the two of them mattered. It's clear that for Jungkook, those days traveling with Jimin were very special stages in his life that profoundly impacted him. His identification with that video of two people having a good time confirms that their relationship is full of private moments that he cherishes immensely. Ultimately, Jungkook's actions are a direct sign of what's in his heart. It shows us that the time he spends with Jimin is the most precious thing to him and that he's always remembering the laughter and fun they share when they're away from work. This Jikook moment has us all screaming with excitement, because when you review all the camera angles, the truth comes out so clearly. Jungkook couldn't take his eyes off Jimin for a single second, and he did so with an intensity that was evident on his face, especially when he bit his lip as he watched him. It's a fact that can't be hidden, because his gaze was fixed on Jimin in a very special way, showing that for him, Jimin is the most important person in that scene and that he can't help but show how much he admires him. Jimin, who is always attentive to what Jungkook does, responded in a very sweet way with a playful fake punch, which is how they always joke around when they're happy. Seeing this reaction, they both melted into huge smiles that show that there's a connection between them that no one else can have, because they understand each other with just a look. It doesn't take much explanation to realize that in that moment, they forgot that thousands of people were watching and simply enjoyed being together, as they always do when they feel comfortable and safe. All of this confirms once again that their chemistry is completely real and flows naturally without anyone having to tell them what to do. It seemed as if Jimin and Jungkook were in their own world, detached from everything else, living a moment that belonged only to the two of them as a couple. What happened at the El Paso concert during the Ararang tour is something I can't stop thinking about, because we saw Jimin and Jungkook in a very intimate moment. While the other members of the group were busy walking around the stage and greeting everyone who came to see them, these two decided to stay a little further away from the others to be alone. That's when we saw Jikook hugging tightly, showing that their priority at that moment wasn't the rest of the group or the audience, but simply holding each other in a hug that said it all. It's very moving to see how, while the rest of the members were standing around doing the normal things at a concert, Jimin and Jungkook chose that second to show affection in such a direct way. The Ararang tour is giving us so many moments like this, where it's clear that they don't need a special reason to be close, but rather that they seek each other out because they love each other and because they feel good being together. I'm here living for these moments, because seeing our Jimin and our Jungkook hug like that confirms everything we already know about their relationship. They hug just because, without caring about anything else, and that's what makes this tour so special for all of us who follow Jikook. This moment from the second day in El Paso has left us all speechless because it so clearly shows how Jungkook stopped dead in his tracks in the middle of the stage just to watch Jimin. He didn't care about what was happening around him or the pace of the performance. His only priority in that second was to remain still and admire Jimin as he acted so cute and adorable in front of the audience. His eyes didn't leave him for a single instant, and that fixed gaze is direct proof that Jungkook can't help but be drawn to the unique energy and radiance that Jimin has when he's enjoying the concert. It's impressive to see Jungkook completely mesmerized, almost as if time had stopped for him as he watched his Jimin be himself on stage. This reaction is very important because it wasn't planned, but a natural impulse from someone who was deeply in love with his partner's personality. Many people have noticed that this is a consistent attitude of his, but at this event in El Paso it was much more evident, as he was completely captivated by Jimin's every move and sweet gesture, demonstrating that for him, nothing else in the entire place was more interesting. Actions like this confirm time and again that the chemistry between them is real and very direct, requiring no further explanation. Seeing Jungkook so lost in Jimin's beauty and sweetness makes it clear that there is a very strong bond between them that grows stronger with each concert of the Ararang tour. What happened on day 2 in El Paso is something many people can't stop talking about, because we caught Jungkook showing his love even before Jimin realized it. Before Jimin could turn around, Jungkook was already looking at him with an intensity that speaks volumes, approaching him in a very flirtatious and sweet way that reveals his true intentions. It's a very special moment because it allows us to see Jungkook's real feelings when he thinks no one is watching him so closely, approaching Jimin with a smile that only someone who is falling in love with another person can have. When Jimin finally turns around and notices Jungkook's presence, the connection between them is instant and filled with a sweetness that makes them unique as a couple. Jungkook didn't stop smiling that special way as he looked at him directly, and Jimin responded with all his natural tenderness, creating a scene that seems straight out of a real love story. These actions demonstrate that Jungkook always finds ways to be close to Jimin and make him feel loved, using these pre-show glances to show that his interest in him is constant and that he's always seeking his attention in the sweetest way possible. These kinds of interactions on stage confirm that Jikook is a reality that can't be hidden, because their actions speak for themselves. The way Jungkook approaches him and looks at him with that sparkle in his eyes before their face-to-face encounter is a direct sign of their relationship and how much he enjoys being by his side. It's a reminder that there's always that playful flirtation and trust between them that keeps them together, making every video we see of them on the Ararang tour further proof that their love is genuine. This moment on the second day in El Paso is all we need to confirm the deep love between them, because seeing Jungkook take on the role of director to film Jimin speaks volumes. Most importantly, the producer had already clarified that there was no script for this, it was Jungkook's own decision, as he simply wanted to be close to Jimin and capture his beauty with his own camera. It's a gesture that demonstrates that Jungkook not only admires him as a bandmate but also feels a genuine need to keep these memories of Jimin for himself, giving him absolute priority amidst the entire concert. For those of us who follow Jikook, this moment from the Ararang tour is like a dream come true, because it directly shows how Jungkook always puts Jimin first. By choosing to be the one holding the camera, Jungkook ensures that Jimin is the center of his attention, demonstrating that he enjoys every second he spends observing him through the lens. It wasn't something he was asked to do, it was something he wanted to do because their connection is so strong that he's always looking for new ways to interact and be by the side of the person he loves most, making his work much more personal and profound. This act of Jungkook filming Jimin confirms once again that their chemistry isn't a fleeting moment, but a constant reality we see in every city they visit. By ignoring everything else happening around him to focus solely on Jimin, Jungkook makes it clear that his love is real and that he'll always find a way to be by his side, even if it means using a camera. These actions are clear signs of their relationship, showing us a Jungkook who prioritizes his partner at every opportunity, making everyone who watches these videos understand just how special their bond is. On the second day of the Ararang tour in El Paso, we witnessed a gesture that left us all speechless with its naturalness and romance. While they were sitting on stage chatting quietly, Jungkook's hand rested on Jimin's knee for a long time, seemingly without any hurry to remove it. It was such a trusting touch that it reveals so much about their relationship, because no one touches another person like that unless there's a deep feeling and complete trust between them. Jungkook doesn't even seem to think about it, he simply leaves his hand there because, for him, physical contact with Jimin is the most natural thing in the world. Jimin, for his part, accepts this gesture with a calmness and peace that only the two of them share, demonstrating that he's completely used to Jungkook's affection. Although many people try to say that all of this is staged or that Jikook doesn't exist, the reality of these events is very different and difficult to ignore for those who see things as they are. The truth is, Jungkook touches Jimin with a tenderness and consistency we've never seen him show to anyone else in the group, and this confirms that their connection as a couple is unique and very different from a simple friendship. Seeing these kinds of direct interactions on stage makes us understand that for them, cameras don't exist when it comes to showing affection. The fact that Jungkook keeps his hand resting on Jimin's while they talk with complete naturalness is a clear sign that their relationship is solid and that they feel comfortable showing their love in front of the world. These are the moments that give us the certainty that Jikook is real, and although some people may find it hard to accept, what happened on stage in El Paso speaks for itself and shows us a couple who truly support and love each other.